welcome to video 2 for our yoga practice. Okay, so this video I am going to dedicate a little bit more to the hips. So if that sounds horrible to you, then you probably need to keep going with this one. Don't skip out on it. We're going to try and work around any possible knee injuries, things that could be bothering you, and really get some healthy range of motion through the hips. Because it's very important for just general life, like getting up, sitting down, and moving around in general. So we'll try to get that happening. And so we might start sitting. So if at all possible, sitting cross-legs. And rather than kind of being all bunched up, and we bring the legs a bit further away from the body. So this is actually better if your knees aren't super happy. It's better to get the knees a bit more 90 degrees rather than kind of trying to jam them up. So ideally the heels kind of line up with the knees. So you're not sort of out wide, try and sneak them in closer together. So knees over the heels and the shins kind of parallel to each other. So we begin, as we begin every practice really, is to just stop for a moment. So to press pause on whatever else was happening prior to sitting down to do this. And just coming into this moment and beginning with the breath. So if you can, if you like, close your eyes, relax your shoulders, and just take a moment to tune into that breathing. So it's the inhale through the nose, expand into the belly, the ribs, and the back, and the chest. Exhale, let the belly, the ribs, the back, the chest release. So really feel that expansion as you inhale. Allow the body to really expand and open, to lengthen and lift. And as you exhale, let the body relax, release, and let go. So it's this intake and it's this receiving, and it's balanced by the giving out, pushing back out, releasing. So we inhale and exhale. And one more deep breath like this, inhale. And exhale. So now we try to stay connected to the breathing as we move through the practice. So from here we inhale, lift the arms, keep the legs as they are, and exhale to fold it forward. So it's a little hinge from the hips. So it's early in the practice. I'm not sure what you've been doing today, but it might be the first kind of movement you've been doing. So things might feel a little tight, a little stiff. So if you're here, it doesn't matter. Just work with what's happening today and just fold it forward. And we keep the breath flowing. We take 3 more here. So they're full, deep inhale. And empty the lungs completely with the exhale. And 1 more deep breath in. And full breath out. Then we inhale to walk the hands in. Be kind and gentle. Then hands behind you and switch the legs over. So the chances are good, this will probably feel weird. We all have one way that we like to cross the legs, so that's okay. We need to balance out the body. We inhale to lift up and exhale to fold. So the hands are actually out in front, and each exhale, see if you can kind of creep the hands a little further forward. So you're still keeping each pose alive. So what that means is you don't just kind of hit one position when you first come into the pose and stay there. Explore a little, kind of move with each breath. Even if it's the teeniest movement, there's still a little more room. So the longer you sit in it, the deeper you'll be able to go, just as the body starts to release and relax into it. We take 3 more breaths. 2. Last one here. Then we inhale, walk the hands in, and then from there, hands are behind you, bring the feet out in front. So there are 2 options to work with this pose. If wrists are an issue and it doesn't work really well for you, I'll show you another option in a moment. So So we're going to bring the right ankle above the left knee. So it's almost like a letter number 4. Bring the left heel a little bit closer to the body, and then move the body, or you're moving the chest rather, towards the shin. So you're using the hands to kind of walk the body in. That right knee presses wide rather than letting it stick in towards your face. Press it out wide and away from you. So if you are close enough and it's available, you can wrap the left arm around and draw yourself in a little more. If that's not going to happen, it's all good, don't panic. So just be mindful of knees. Also, if wrists or knees are an issue, you can do this lying on the floor. Catch the back of that left thigh and pull the left knee in towards you, still pressing that right knee wide. So this option, or this version, is still giving you the same benefits as the seated one. The seated one just gives you a bit more leverage, basically. That's all it is you move the body. So either way, we take one more deep breath in here and a full breath out. And then we inhale to release the legs. So staying on the ground, if you're in that version, we switch legs. So the left ankle above the right knee, bring the right foot in towards you a little, and then walk the body in towards that shin. So keep pressing the left knee wide. If you do find a little bit of a difference side to side, don't panic. Most of us, well, all of us are asymmetrical to some degree. So again, I think I talked about it earlier. It is an our practice is an exploration. So you're getting to know your body, you're getting to know how it works and all of the quirks that it has. So it's getting to know yourself and then getting to know how you respond to challenge too sometimes. So we take one more deep breath in here and a full breath out. And then we inhale to gently release it, walk it back. So rolling up to sitting if you are on the floor, so coming all the way back up. And then from here we take the feet together, let the knees drift wide. So a lot of people are familiar with that pose where the heels are in close and we're trying to fold forward. We're not actually doing that. We're pushing the feet further away from the body. So we're much more of a diamond shape. We bring the hands underneath the calf muscles and fold the body forward. So if you are still feeling this more in inner thighs, push the feet a little bit further away from the body because we're trying to feel it more in the outside of that hip and outside of that thigh. So push the feet forward as much as you need to start to feel there rather than inner thighs. And you can use the hands to draw yourself in. And we just take 3 more deep breaths here. 2. And last one. And then we inhale to slowly release, rolling yourself up. And then the exhale to bring the legs in. Okay, so from here, so bring the legs in, cross at the shins, and rolling over onto the hands and knees. So you're stepping the feet back, even if you have to kind of go around sideways or however it works for you. Coming onto the hands and knees, we inhale. Then tuck the toes, exhale, push the hips towards the heels, then lift the hips high, and exhale, pressing the body back, roll the armpits towards each other, keep a little bend in the knees as you lift the tailbone high. If your wrists are an issue, do feel free to come down onto forearms. You're still getting the benefits without having to damage yourself. We just take 2 more breaths here. And last one. So then we look to the hands. We slowly walk or jump the feet forward. Feet are hip distance apart. Inhale. And exhale, we fold. So then we inhale to roll all the way up to standing. Reach up. Lift the hands high. And then exhale. Release the hands. Relax the shoulders. So we are going to come into a little bit of a balance here. So if your balance isn't fabulous at the moment, then do feel free to get to a wall or have something steady nearby, so you can just put one fingertip even just a pinky finger touching will help give you the balance and steady you. So we bring the hands together in front of the heart, and we are going to lift the right leg. So really ground through the left leg, push the toes into the ground, almost like you're gripping the floor with those left toes. We inhale, lift the right leg into the chest, reach it up as high as you can. Excuse me, then exhale, we cross that right thigh over the top of the left. Bend the left leg a little, squeeze the thighs together, so almost like you're sitting crossed legs. If it's available for you, you're tucking those right toes behind the left calf muscle. If you're standing up straight on that left leg, it's not really going to happen to tuck the toes. So you really do need to get a little bend in the standing leg and really squeeze the thighs together. So if you don't get the bind, it's okay, just squeeze the thighs together. The arms come out wide. If you've got the balance, we bring the right elbow underneath the left. Press palms if you can, back of the hands, whatever works. But we're trying to lift the elbows, but pull those shoulder blades down. So the elbows lift in the opposite direction to the shoulder blades. Hands move away from the face. This is like a bonus extra. Obviously, it's not really helping the hips at all. But if you need to, do keep that hand on the wall or whatever's steadying you. So feel free to keep that or add the arms if it's available. Just 2 more breaths. And last one. Good, then we unwind the arms, hands to the heart. Inhale, lift that right knee, and exhale, release the leg. Nice. So you're grounding through the right foot now, so really press the heel, grip with the toes a little. Inhale to lift the left knee in, and exhale, cross it over. Bend the right leg, tuck the left toes if you can. If you can't, don't panic. Squeeze the thighs either way. So you're squeezing the legs together. Take the arms out wide if you did last side. Bring the left elbow underneath the right this time. So you're lifting elbows, hands move from the face, shoulder blades draw down. Deep full breaths here. Really relaxing through the shoulders. 3 more. Stay active, lifting the elbows. 2. Last one. Nice. Then releasing the hands. Bring the hands to the heart. Inhale. Bring that left knee in. And exhale to release. Shake it out if you need to. Nice. So we get caught up with the hips. We kind of tend to think it's all about going wide. But we need to be able to get that adduction as well. So all ranges of motion. So remember, that is a ball and socket joint. We need to have all the rotation. So we bring the feet hip distance apart. So do make sure you've got a bit of room behind you. So whether you're using a mat or whatever it is. We inhale to lift up. And exhale to fold. So then we inhale to halfway. So the spine is long. Exhale, hands to the ground. And we just step that left foot back. So from here you can either ground the left knee if you like, or you can keep the back leg off if you want to make this a bit more, if you want to work a little harder, I guess. So the back knee is on the ground or off the ground, whatever your call. We inhale, lift the right arm up. Stay really light on that left wrist, left shoulder. So the weight is more in the legs. This is kind of just reaching to the ground. It's not really dumping the weight in. We lift the right hand up and exhale, twist. So try to get the twist from around the navel center. Once you're in your twist, turn the gaze to your top hand. Make sure you're sinking the hips forward, so you're pressing forward with the hips, but lifting up through the center of the chest. So think of it almost like you're trying to get that sternum turning towards the ceiling. And just 2 more breaths here. Last one. And we inhale, come back to center, and this time we're bringing that right hand down inside the right foot. So creep that foot a little wider, so the right foot goes wider and a little bit further forward. So just check in with that knee. You want to make sure that the knee is 90 degrees or more, so you may need to sneak the foot further forward so the heel is in front of the knee. From here, those who have their back knee off the ground, you can still keep the back leg off the ground, or you can keep the back knee on the ground. We bend the elbows, come down onto the forearms if it's available. So for some of us, we'll just be bending the elbows and hanging there. That's all cool. Back knee on the ground will make it easier. So forearms if you can. Check in with that leg. So really try to get the body moving forward. What we tend to do is sneak off to the side and kind of try and run away from it. We try to keep the body moving forward and that knee moving in towards the shoulder. Keep the breath flowing, so they're full deep breaths. Just 2 more here. And last one. So then we inhale to come up onto those hands. And so then we tuck the back toes, lift that back knee, and exhale, step back, down dog. So if you need to, you can pedal it out, you can shimmy the hips. Just try and find some sort of release there. If that was a little intense, we take a deep breath in and a full breath out. And looking to the hands, then we walk the feet or jump the feet to the front of the mat. Feet a comfortable distance apart, exhale, fold. Then inhale to lift all the way up to standing, little bend in the knees, stack the spine, lift up, and exhale to release. Good, so we got the second side, we inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Hinge from those hips. Inhale, halfway. Then exhale, hands to the ground, and we step the right leg back this time. So if you chose to keep the back knee off the ground last side, do so this side, otherwise lower that back knee. Inhale to lift the left arm up. Really lift out of the right wrist, even though it's still on the ground, it's not as load-bearing. And exhale, twist. Press the hips forward. Lift up out of that right wrist, right shoulder. Center of the chest towards the sky. Deep, full breaths here. 3 more. So you're kind of sinking into that front knee. Looking to the top hand too. So your gaze, usually in a twist, your gaze is where you want the body to follow. And 1 more breath. And then we inhale, come back to center. Bring that left hand inside the left foot. Sneak the left foot a little wider. Check in with that angle. So you want 90 degrees here or a little more, not a little less, because you don't want to jam into the knee. Back knee is either off still or on. And exhale, forearms if you can. So the heart is moving forward. The shoulders are relaxing. We take a deep breath in. Relax shoulders. And a full breath out. Just 3 more here. Try to pull that knee in. So it's tempting, again, to wander away from it or move the knee away. Try to keep everything kind of in so the knee moves in towards the shoulder. 2 more. Deep breath. And last one. So then we inhale, come up onto the hands, tucking those back toes. But then exhale, we step back to a down dog. And just adjust, pedal out, walk out, do whatever you need to do. Just find some level of comfort in the body once more. Take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. And then we inhale, lift the right leg, keep the left heel moving towards the ground or the hips square. And exhale, bring that right knee towards the right wrist and the shin across the front of the body or across the front of the mat. And lower that left knee, lower the left leg. So from here, roll onto the right hip, bend into that front knee. So you're bringing that shin, or that knee rather, to about 90 degrees. So depending on how much range of motion you have, how often you practice, or any of those factors in the body, you can bend that back knee and bring the back knee into a 90-degree angle as well. So you can pull that leg in if this makes life better for your knees and for your hips. Excuse me. Or those who can keep that back leg long. So we try to get the hips a little more square. So either way, we're folding over that front shin. So whatever that looks like or however low you go, doesn't matter. Just work into those hips. So even if you have that back knee bent, we fold in. So whichever variation is going to work for you, we take deep breaths here. So this is, it's basically half pigeon. It's an interesting pose for most people. Most people really feel this one, and it can be super challenging, and I'm well aware of that, and that's why we hang out in it for a little bit longer, and we really need to focus on the breath when we're in it. So it's not a just hold the breath and hope and wait for it to be over. Try to breathe into it and stay with it. So you have 3 more breaths here. And they're deep, full breaths too, not the short, shallow, sharp ones. Try to deepen the breath. 2 more. So that's where your focus is. It's on the breathing rather than the sensation. And 1 more breath here. And we inhale to walk the hands in. So you're planting those hands, tucking the back toes. Now from here, you can press back either to a child's pose or a down dog, or forearm down dog if the wrists aren't super happy. Shuffle it out, pedal it out, do what you need to do, unwind that. Then we inhale, lift the left leg. And exhale, bring the left knee towards the left wrist and the shin across the body. Lowering the right leg. So again, roll onto the left hip. Really sneak that left foot forward so that the knee is at a 90-degree angle. And adjust the back leg. So if you do need to come in with the back leg, feel free to do that with the right leg, or keep the right leg out long. And from here, fold over that left shin. So really come back to the breathing. And again, don't panic if you are different from side to side. We're all going to find some discrepancies in the body. So sometimes it's come from an injury, sometimes it's just the way we're made. There's all kinds of reasons for it. Or maybe we've played a sport like golf or something where we're constantly moving in one particular way, and so this will create an imbalance in the body. So our yoga practice is trying to rebalance everything. I'm not trying to force it, but just encourage balance. And again, I just tend to waffle while you're staying in these things because hopefully it takes your mind off it a little bit. But do come back to the breathing. You have 3 more deep breaths here. Make them slow and full. Make them beneficial. 2 more. And last one here. So then we inhale, walking the hands back, grounding the hands, tucking the back toes, and unwind yourself. So you slowly unwind, do what you need to do to get out of there, to adjust and find some balance. And then from here we inhale, lift the right leg high once more. And exhale, we gently bring that foot towards the hand. So even if it only makes it halfway, catch the ankle, bring it through, and lower that back knee on the ground. So we are going to be kneeling here. So if you do need to grab a towel or a cushion or something, I don't know what surface you're on, but if you do find it's a little uncomfortable to be on the knee, then put some extra padding under it, or you can roll up your mat if you need to. So just check in. Once you're here, we want to be one line from your knee, hip, and shoulder. So we're not kind of leaning in or hunching forward. So get that length, keep the tailbone tucked. So as we sink, so we're going to bend into that front knee and sink the hips forward. We're going to try not to let the bottom stick out and the tilt happen. So we really want to get into hip flexors and the front of the hip. And as soon as you collapse forward, you lose a lot of that. So we're going to keep that. Oops, lose my balance. Nice from there. Now from here, we inhale, lift the left arm up. And exhale to bend that elbow. So if you can, wrap the right hand around and catch the hand. If that's not going to happen, right hand onto the left elbow and just gently encourage that hand down. Just what we're doing when we add the arms, I mean, they're kind of bonus extra, you don't need to, but what we do is we're actually getting more into that front line, and so we're just adding on to the benefits of the pose. So it's not necessary, but it is helpful. So just 2 more breaths here, really tuck the tailbone, keep the pelvis neutral. And 1 more. Good, then we inhale to come up, release the hands, unwind. Exhale, take the hands to the ground, tuck the toes, and press it back to that down dog. So if it doesn't work for you, down dog, we just switch legs, so whatever's going to be more beneficial. We lift the left leg now, and exhale, we step it between the hands. So again, if you can't quite make it first go, grab the foot and hoik it through, lower the right knee, and then we come all the way up to kneeling on that back knee. So again, get that length or that line from the knee, the hip, and the shoulder. Tuck the tailbone under, and exhale, sink in. So it won't feel like you're sinking as far because you're being really strict with that pelvis, but you're getting more benefits from it. So we inhale to lift the right arm up, and exhale, bending that elbow, left arm around, or left hand onto that elbow. So if you think of the pelvis like a bowl, and imagine it was filled with hot water or soup or whatever, you don't want to tilt it forward and spill, so you want to keep it very neutral. Sinking the hips without tucking or without tilting through the pelvis. Keeping the ribs in, but the chest lifting. 2 more deep breaths here. And last one. And then we inhale to come up, release the hands, gently release it, and exhale, grounding the hands, tuck the back toes, and we step back, and then lowering the knees to the ground, press it back onto the hips, and bring the legs out in front. Good, so we scoot forward a little bit from here. Nice, and from here we sit up tall, the arms are out, make sure you've got room behind you to lay down, and slowly roll your way down to the ground. I'm going to get rid of this microphone thing before I squish it. So from here, we inhale. Bring the right knee into the chest. And then reach the right arm out to the right. Exhale to twist the right knee over to the left. So either keep the right shoulder on the ground and work the knee towards the floor, or keep the right knee on the ground and work the shoulder towards the ground. Look towards the right hand. Just 2 more breaths here. And last one. Now we're going to actually stay in that twist. So from here, you're extending the right leg, so as best you can, and then it doesn't matter whether you can reach the thigh or the calf muscle, or if you can, the foot. You're bringing that leg in towards the body while staying in the twist. So you're going to start to feel this through your outer right thigh or the hamstrings as well. So we may as well get that while we're here. And just 3 more breaths, then turning your gaze back towards the right hand. Two more. And last one. And then inhaling, come back to center, bending that knee. Bring the leg back in. And then exhale to release the leg. So then we inhale, bring the left knee in. hug that knee into the body, and exhale to twist it across. So again, choose whether it's the elbow or the knee on the floor if you can't do both. Reaching the left arm back out to the left, and the gaze follows the left hand. Deep breaths here. Feel a little length in the waist. 3. Really slow the breath down. We are winding down. 2. One more breath here. Then we stay in it. Extend that left leg, so catch either the thigh, the calf muscle, or the foot, whatever you reach. Bring that leg in towards the body a little more. 5 more breaths. Deep, full breaths. 4. 3. 2. Last one here. Then bending that knee, inhale to come back to center, hug the knee to the chest. Then releasing the leg, releasing the arms. And we are coming into that little mini moment of rest. So again, if you can, try to set an alarm or some other way that you can just rest for 5 minutes or so. Just let the body melt for the moment. So you're trying to let the feet fall out to the sides, shimmy through the hips, let the hips relax, shoulders move away from the ears, back of the hands on the ground, the fingers will gently curl in. Just relax through the jaw and release here for a moment. It's just a moment of gratitude for the body, for our health and well-being. And so if you can't give yourself this moment, thank you for joining me, or even if you can, thank you for joining me for video 2 of yoga. See you for